And away we go. Welcome in, everybody. It's Monday. I'm Jess. I'm joined by the wonderful Phantom Meeple, Joe. Hello, Joe. How
Hello,
are you?
everybody. How are you doing?
We are doing okie doke. The Baker Meeple is taking a self care night, so please, Abby, get some rest. And
Yes,
we love you.
everybody, send her love.
Send her love in the emotes. Put in your crazy potato emotes because we love ourselves a potato.
Yes,
Potato
that we do.
emotes. Joe, how was your weekend, my friend? Did you do anything fun or exciting?
Yeah, we pretty much gamed the entire weekend, which was fantastic.
Yes. Any games from your shelf of opportunity, or was it some just standard
Um,
go-tos?
let's see. Anything from our shelf of opportunity? No, nothing from our shelf of opportunity, but we did play some new games, which was a plus.
Okay. What'd
So
you
we visited Anna Maria and Ben on Saturday, and we started out with Wicked and Wise because apparently Anna Maria has this desire to beat Abby, but not there yet. So for the second time within a period of 2 weeks, she has gotten banned from her house.
Oh,
It's too funny because the first time at OrcaCon when she lost and she was Abby's partner, it's like, yep, you're uninvited from dinner, and yeah, now we're banned again. But it was fun, and
that's
then
funny.
uh, and then we learned Anno 1800, which is a really interesting resource management game, which we thoroughly enjoyed. I
Okay.
had wanted to play it because I'd played the video game of it, but the translation into cardboard was really really nice. Great player interaction, super fun. Enjoyed it a lot. And then we ended the night with some Nidavellir.
Ooh, cool. Do you have any expansions to that one?
So I don't think Anna Maria has any expansions, but I do have the Thingavalir expansion.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get Idleval, but I think it's currently out of print because it like sold out really quickly.
yeah. I don't,
Um,
I don't, I don't have the second expansion yet.
yeah. It's a
Yes.
lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Hmm.
I actually learned that game on Board Game Arena and I was like, what is this game? And then, friends, if you don't have the physical copy of this game, it is a set collection game, but you're recruiting dwarves into your army. And so each of them is from a different faction, and each faction gives you a certain amount of points and how they score. Basically, that's it in the nutshell. Um, so what happens is as you're like drafting them from these taverns, you have betting coins, which are these nice solid like cardboard tokens. Really really nice looking, but you'd have them on display in like this like bleachers kind of stand that
Mm.
it's like you have to
That's
assemble
probably the
them.
best way to describe it.
Yeah. And so like you like have each little thing and you're like, okay, so I'm exchanging this one for this one. And it's just like it's like this nice display of gold that you're trying to go for. So I mean, but the goal of the game is not gold. Like the gold is actually like your resource that you're using to outbid your opponent. So it's different in that you're not trying to like hoard the most gold, but certain gold values can be like considered tiebreakers for some of the faction
Hmm.
rules. So yeah, but that's
Yeah, and
cool.
that was just Saturday, and then Sunday we learned a couple of new games. We played Amsterdam by Stefan Feld, which Abby and I were not fans of.
Okay.
It was an okay game, but there was just a lot of things that you know. It's a very very like restrictive game. Like you
Okay.
can only like buy certain resources at certain times, and you can't get them in other ways, and just not enough rounds, not enough actions, and just we weren't fans. But anyway, we'll play anything once.
Yeah,
So there was that, and then
that's fair.
we tried, and then we learned the Living Forest, which won the Kennerspiel de Jara this year, and
Okay.
that was a fabulous little game. So
Yeah.
multiple avenues of set collection, and you only need like one of them to win.
Okay.
But there's also this track where if you like you're moving around and if you jump over your opponents, you can steal their goals. So if they're working
Nice.
towards something, they have to
Nice.
steal it back. So really, really fun game, and thoroughly enjoyed that one. And that was mostly our games this weekend, other than the I think 30 or 40 something games Abby and I played on BGA, so I could finally get into alpha. So yeah, we played a bunch this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it is. If I don't have at least a dozen games going on BGA, it's like I gotta add some more. Like I feel left out. So it's really funny. I have this like standing thing going with a friend of the chat, Tom Posh, and like it's
Mhm.
always like, okay, what two-player game are you playing now? Oh, what two-player are you playing now? And so it's like we always have to choose something random, and like sometimes it's like, well, I've never played this game. We're like, cool. So we're both like stumbling through. Like we just finished a game of Watergate, and
Okay.
I never played Watergate, but
Watergate's a good one.
it's a good one. Yeah, it's very strategic though, and like the way the order of operations and how you're supposed to play your cards like really dictates what happens. Although I
Mhm.
ended up like trashing a bunch of my cards that could have helped me in later rounds. So I was basically like, so am I just out of luck now? And he's like, yeah. So like, all right,
More or
I'll just
less,
try to
yeah.
sabotage you as much as possible. But it was still fun. Let's say hi to the chat real quick before we
Yeah,
invite
let's do
our
that.
guest. So welcome into James Brazil is here. Of course, the stream can now officially start. Welcome in. I see Baker Meeple Abby. I hope you're getting some rest, my dear. Thank you so much for moderating. Gus, welcome in. Good evening. Game Freak Geek is here.
Hey, what's up, Mo?
Hi,
Glad to see
Mo.
you.
I am so glad to see your lovely face here in the chat. And no soul, no proud, Ben. Ayo. Welcome in. Anyone else that's
All
hanging
fun,
out?
folks.
Gus says, you two are looking very purpley today. Love the coordination. Yes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
1000% coordinated. Like we had a Discord thread, we had
Yeah.
pictures like
Yeah.
shade, tone. Like
Yeah.
no, I just put on a purple shirt.
I did. And so like, I mean, I don't have the wonderful CGE shirt that Joe has, but because he had the benefit of working for them during Gen Con.
Mhm.
But this is another board gaming shirt that I love from the folks of Semi Co-op. They do board game
Oh, there you
comics,
go.
which is so great. But it's so funny because it's like all the different shades, and even like my backdrop is a slightly different purple.
Mhm.
So we're like feeling the purple love today, friends. But speaking of colors, we're here to talk to someone who is very colorful in life and in her games. You might recognize her from such games designed You Think You Know Me, Flatter Me, Lost for Words, Rabbit Rabbit, and so many wonderful things that you've seen her talk about. She was also a member of the Fellowship of Gamma for new designers and new people in the industry. Let us welcome her in. It is the wonderful, the fantastic Amy Baio. Hey, you are on mute, my love.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
There we
There
go.
we go.
We have sound.
Yay, we did it. Thank you so much
I'm
for
sorry
being here.
I'm not wearing purple. I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
That is
No,
okay.
it's all good.
You are
as a
embracing
person
the pink
who
as you should because your gaming company is called Pink Tiger Games.
it is. As a person who made a purple game though, it is so hard to match purples. That's all I have to say about that. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Well, you brought something purple, so that qualifies.
Yeah. And we have a lovely hello from Slivers in the chat. He goes, hi, Amy. We always picture like like Kermit the Frog in that meme where he's just like that's kind of how we picture Slivers saying hi to people. So there
I like
you
that.
go. So, friends, we're going to be talking to the wonderful Amy here for the next little while. If you have any questions for her, please feel free to pop them into the chat. But before we get deep diving down into the who's and what's and how's of Amy, first off, Amy, we would like you to identify yourself. What is your title in the board gaming space? What are your pronouns? How do you identify if you're meeting somebody new for the first time. You're like, hi, I'm Amy. I do blank, or I am blank. Why don't you take it away and explain that for everyone?
I'm Amy Baio. My pronouns are she, her, and I run Pink Tiger Games. I started off designing and self-publishing. My first game was You Think You Know Me, and I now have 4 games and number 5 on the way. And once my second game came out, I started my company, like I said, Pink Tiger Games. I have a sticker right here. That's helpful. Look at that.
Nice.
And I do it all. I write, research, design, all that good stuff. That's me. Party of me.
Yes, I love it. And I was explaining to Joe before we started on stream, Amy was one of the first kind of like advocates and supporters of CCG in my endeavor to like become going into the gaming hobby as like running my own business and like having people come alongside me to support and stuff. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to you, Amy.
Thanks. I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
Yeah, for day one. From day one, you were there. So I appreciate you.
Here's an inside scoop about Jess too.
We're getting stories? Oh, yes, please, stories. Let's go.
When You Think You Know Me, I think it was even still on Kickstarter when I met Jess, and we played at a really cool board game cafe bar thing that is now closed because pandemics suck. And so Jess was one of the first people ever to play You Think You Know Me. Really special.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really, really special. And Amy was one of the first people to offer like giveaways at my events and stuff. And like, you know, we would go to her events that she would have at Barnes and Noble. And now it's like on the shelves in their gaming section at Barnes and Noble. Like, crazy.
What? Were you talking about me?
Yeah. Crazy, right? What a wonderful
Sometimes that's what it feels like. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
It is insane. Yeah. So, all right, Amy. First question. After you give your lovely identifiers, thank you for doing that. How did you get into board gaming?
Well, I never saw myself as a game designer. It came as a complete surprise to me. I hope that I haven't worn out my welcome with this story because it is the one I tell probably the most is You Think You Know Me. The whole idea just came to me one day. It was one of those amazing moments that I was just standing in my kitchen, quite honestly. And I was like, wait, we all think we know so much about each other and we make all these assumptions about each other. So what if there was a game and it was a card game and people could be like, I know, and they'd have these I know statements and they would guess how other people would answer because we're all so sure that we know so much. And I was like, oh, I really like this. And I immediately started writing and doing research. And that's what started it all. As soon as I started writing the cards, I just carried around with me like little handwritten cards, and I played them with my friends, and people seemed to like it. And then at a local bar, I had a bunch of my friends meet up and bring other people too, and I handed them all stacks of, again, handwritten cards at a bar. Real easy to see. It's a joy. And everyone played, and people won in their groups, and people just loved it. And I got in my car that night and drove home. I don't drink when I do that, mind you. So I drove home and I was just like, my heart was just pounding. I was so excited and so happy. And I knew that I had something that I wanted to make for sure. And then the next month I had a prototype, and 2 months later I ran a Kickstarter, and the rest is history. And of course, during that time too, I started getting more ideas and started writing and researching. So everything sort of overlaps on top of each other. So it was a complete surprise to me, but the joy of making it and the joy of watching people play it is what I've stuck around for sure. Like, it's just the best. It's the coolest thing. Love it.
Very nice. Very nice. Joe.
It's a wonderful story.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, having handwritten cards in a bar and having your game like being loved by people is definitely nothing to be ashamed about.
No.
Some of the greatest games are created in bars. But
Sure.
so we've got your origin story. So I'm going to follow that up with so what's the motivation that keeps you going in game design?
I love that I get to follow my heart and my own interests. I really make everything that I make, every subject that I tackle are just things that I'm passionate about. So anything that I love that speaks to me, I then try to build a game around. And that is exactly what I've been lucky enough to do. So I don't see myself stopping anytime soon because there's so many things that I get excited and I'm passionate about and I love doing research. So I will spend a year reading and writing and then start developing a game around things I love.
All right. Good. Fantastic answer. Love to hear it.
That's awesome. Is there somebody that you look up to, Amy, as like a mentor that has aided you in this journey of game design?
There's so many people.
You can list more than one if there's a group.
Yeah, there's so. I mean, I'm afraid I'll forget people. So everyone, one that stands out in my mind is in February of 2021. T and also Danny Lowe both used Flatter Me cards. And I have Flatter Me right here, of course. Flatter Me is a compliment battle card game. So T and Danny both did really special things in their Palantines and Valentines that year in February of 2021. T did these little videos to people, and they would pull out a Flatter Me card and then on Twitter, and say a compliment and what someone meant to them on Twitter. And I didn't know T then, and I was just blown away. It was so moving and so beautiful. And then later I found out too that Danny had sent out Flatter Me cards to specific friends in the game industry for Palantines. And that was just incredible. And so sweet. And people, of course, were like taking pictures of their sweet Valentines and posting them. So that kind of community and sharing, when I barely had my toe in the door, and it was so cool and so helpful, and immediately felt like a kinship and making friends. And there's nothing more important than that, than all of these relationships. And even before all of that, when I had the idea for You Think You Know Me, I sort of like, I didn't know anyone in the industry, but I knew people who knew people who were in the industry. So like I had talked to Alex Haig, who, his game Wavelength is so huge now. It was game of the season for Barnes & Noble over the holidays. So gosh, Alex and just recently, James Hudson and I have been getting to know each other, and he's been awesome. And Camellia Weather-Smith, who is who does brilliant in BS. And then, of course, everyone involved in the Gamma Horizons Fellowship. I could spend an hour, you all. Like, you should stop me.
Keep going, please.
So because of the fellowship, meeting everyone in that community. Oh my gosh, Andrew Chesney. Oh, I love them. Yeah, there's a lot of people I love. Joel Andrews and I did a thing together on Clubhouse when we first met, and he's so dear to me and just always a good person to bounce things off of. But that's what I find, like everyone who I know is just, I can literally message them anytime and just be like, I have this question about this thing, and everyone will be supportive and answer and be as helpful as they can. If they don't have an answer, they're going to direct you to someone who can. Sen, I love Sen. So yeah. Okay. Next question.
Awesome. No, I will add to that, Amy, too. Like when you told me about that Palantines thing that Danny and T were doing, I thought, what cool way would it be then to like send these cards not only on like Palantines, but just like throughout the year. And so every time somebody from the chat would win a bag of swag from me, like we would do a tournament game every month, and whoever would win would get, some CCD swag, some stickers, some buttons, face mask, things like that. And I would always add a couple of your Flatter Me cards in there, but I would particularly like pick them out. So I would like go through the entire deck. And granted, how many cards are in that game, Amy?
250.
Yeah. So I would go through the 250 cards and like shuffle through them and go like, okay, yes, this is fitting, and like purposely pick out cards.
I bet you know that deck really well. I bet you know it so well now.
Yeah. And so you know, so then I would like add into like my little personal note, like, hey, I hope you enjoy these like words of encouragement and stuff from my friend Amy's game at Flatter Me Cards, you know. So I would like tag it so people would be like, oh, this is so neat. And I remember
so
clearly I sent one to Dave and Ilka Luza, who are over in Germany. And like Ilka was like, oh my gosh, like she just felt so like touched and loved with just the simple little cards. And I was like, it's from a game though. And she's like, what? It's from a game. So yeah. James says that Game Freak Geek was using the Flatter Me cards as point redemptions for their stream. So
that's awesome.
Mo would just pull it out and be like, here you go. So yeah, see, it's multi-purpose. But I just think that's just such a cool way to like use those cards. Not only like, yes, granted, now I don't have like a full game now because I've handed out so many of their cards. But
we're gonna get you another one.
I think it just makes that like that purpose of just like connecting folks to it too, because it's like it's that one little step, right? It's just reading through it and you're like, oh wait, what is this? Is this actually from a game? And, you know, and then you find out it's just a sweet battle card game of complimenting each other. Like, how crazy is that to, you know, intentionally be complimentary to one another?
We came out with compliment party rules last month for Flatter Me, because Flatter Me was designed for 2 players, and so now you can do a compliment party, and the rules are on my website on flatterme.cards. So you can play with a group now and and all compliment each other.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that so much.
That is great.
Amy, let's see. What is your go-to player color?
What do you think it is?
I would say pink.
I mean, if there's pink. But I love green. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of into all colors. So, yeah.
So if there is definitely a pink color available, you would choose pink first. Yeah. What if there was not? So then green would be your second choice?
Probably.
Okay. Very cool. I like it. Joe, what you got?
All right. Go-to game night snack or beverage. What tickles your fancy?
I love popcorn, and particularly there is a brand I haven't had in a while now, but they make a rosé popcorn and it's pink. It's really cute. Can you believe it's pink? Okay. Yeah, it's a rosé popcorn.
I'm sensing a theme.
I know. Let me know.
Does it taste like rosé?
Yeah, I mean, not in that, you know, like a yucky alcohol way, like in a sweet way. You know, like it's very sugary and pink. Yeah, it's good. Rosé popcorn.
Who knew?
That is interesting.
Who knew?
But you gotta clean up your fingers. Don't touch games. Be careful.
Facts.
Unless you
get all your games.
Then you get all your games messy, unless you use chopsticks. I've been trying to do that with people.
Oh.
For game night snacks, get yourself some chopsticks.
I know, especially the ones that like conveniently fit on your fingers, so you know you still have 3 to play the game, and you got chopsticks on the other 2. They're so great.
Yeah,
amazing.
Didn't you say, Joe? There's like a thing, right? It's a ring that you slip on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go grab one. I'll show you. We got a bunch of them.
Yeah. So Joe's got the gamer tools, everyone. So like when it's game night and you're trying to snack, but you don't want to get your fingers all greasy and stuff, you got yourself some tools.
Yeah. So these things are fantastic. So you got 2 little like indents right here. You put them in, and then you got these 3 fingers to play the game, and then you have these to pick up snacks. They're fantastic.
Amazing.
I think you can get like a 3 or 4 pack on Amazon for a couple bucks. They're great.
I love
Throw them in the dishwasher. Good to go.
I love it. I love it.
That's great.
All right, Amy, what do you prefer, cooperative games or competitive games?
Cooperative.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
fair.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and I only make card games. That's kind of been my thing. And last week I couldn't sleep one night, and I came up with an entire board game. And so now I'm trying to figure out how I can make a board game. And yeah, stay tuned. That's probably a year away or more. But I came up with this concept that I've never seen before, and I was like, okay, sleepy brain, here we go. Sleepy
Okay.
awake brain.
Yeah,
We all know it,
sometimes,
right?
yeah, moments, right? Where you're just
Yeah,
like, it's 2 a.m. I'm not doing anything what I should be doing, like sleeping.
right.
So,
Yeah, who knows? You can have the next Spiel des Jahres winners on your hand. You know.
I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but maybe something.
yeah. Oh, man. Too funny.
I can hope.
All right, Joe, what you got?
That is awesome. All right. Do you have a favorite fan experience, like someone you met in the industry or the hobby that you were just like, oh my god?
Where I fanned over someone?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm. I think, I think everyone's. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but corny stuff is true. That's why it's corny. And all the people that I've been excited to meet have become my friends. Playing a
love it.
cappella.
That's more than fine. There's no wrong answers.
Connor Alexander, friends. Daryl, friends. Like, it's just, yeah, it's, everyone is just really relatable and kind, and just want to spend time with everyone. So, yeah, whenever I got really excited to meet Danny Standring at PAX Unplugged, and she is just like such a great personality, and she's just as warm and authentic in person. So I was stoked to meet her in person. It was great.
Yeah, she's a delight. I met her at Gen Con, and nothing but a pleasurable experience.
Yeah, so good. Oh, and Eric Lang, what a delight.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I don't know him well by any stretch of any imagination, but the few times we've talked, like, so great. Yeah.
A very smart dude, too. Very
Yeah,
smart.
yeah, and
Mhm.
really present and authentic, and like a good listener, and I mean, all things that I admire,
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. So then going along those lines, Amy, do you
Yeah.
have like a favorite designer, or like maybe make a phrase it in like someone that you wish you could maybe co-design a game with?
Co-design dream team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often dream of working with artists first before I think
Okay.
of doing any co-designs, but I don't know if I can share any, because it's definitely things I will go after in the future.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yep, that's fair.
tricky. And because I am so secretive up to the point of like sharing to the world,
Yeah,
I am
totally
I,
fine.
I am on lockdown when it comes to that. Like, I'm always like, no. But I'll think about it. I'll
Okay.
think about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Joe?
Okay, what is your favorite and or most funnest board game memory or moment?
I think because I came out with, or I started the idea for You Think You Know Me when my son was 13. As I've played my games with him, I mean, he's one of the most important people in my life, if not the most important person in my life. So playing with him and seeing how the conversational games that we've made, sorry, my phone is dinging, rude. The conversational games that I've made, and he helped with Lost for Words too. He's my co-designer on Lost for Words. The things I've learned about him along the way that maybe wouldn't have come up in natural conversation, that have come up in games, are just, there's nothing better for me. I mean, it's priceless and super important to me. And those are the things I hold the dearest and the closest. Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it. Do you have a favorite type of game mechanism, Amy?
Um, no, but for me, it's anything that's simple and easy to learn. I'm
Okay.
totally down if I can learn it quick. I sometimes get very overwhelmed when I don't understand something. So when things are easy, then I'm down. Like that's what I need out of a game.
Yeah.
I need it to be easy and quick to learn and get right in there and play. I know that's really general, but like it's so important.
No, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
I want to
Okay.
hear I want to hear your answers for all these things too. So feel free.
I mean, that's a different show, but we could definitely do that
We
at
could
one
definitely
point.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
We should think
Actually,
about that,
just
Joe. Like one of these days,
just
we should just have the three of us, right?
well, I guess I kind of already let the cat out of the
Yes,
bag,
you did.
so I'll go ahead and add another kitty to the bag. So this Saturday, when we do your 600 followers stream, there might be another guest other than myself or Abby accompanying us, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh.
I
Jeff knows what I'm talking about.
Teaser alert! Teaser.
Oh, too funny. Yes. So let's see. Is it my turn or your turn, Joe?
No, it was my turn. I totally went on a tangent. Because Amy's like, "Hey, we need to answer these questions." I'm like, "Oh, perfect opportunity."
About you.
All right, so time for my favorite question of the interview, and I've loved all the answers I've gotten to this question because it really makes people think.
No pressure. Got it. Oh.
All right. Do you still consider yourself a player first, a designer second, or has the creative process overtaken the hobby aspect of gaming for you?
Yeah, I'm totally a designer first. Yeah, that's not hard. Sorry. Yeah, I'm totally a designer first. But I love it that way. Like because of my trajectory and how things have gone. Like, yeah, designer first.
No, that's awesome. I think you're actually one of like two people who have actually said designer first. Most have said player, which is really cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I enjoy designing so much. You know, even those moments where I'm just like, I have to figure it out. Where is it going? What's the most simple solution? What's right in front of me that I'm not seeing yet? All of those things where I'm just taking out my cards and trying to figure out the next right thing to do and to keep it interesting, to keep it balanced, to keep it playful, to keep it fun, all those things. Like, yeah, it boggles my mind, but I love it.
No, that's great. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah. All right, Amy. What is, let's see. Ooh, what is something that you wish could improve or change within the board gaming hobby?
I mean, I think it's that's so hard. I mean, there's stuff that really feels obvious, and it's just but it's all it. I mean, it's obvious because it's so important to me and what I've been a part of so far. Maybe it's not obvious, but I'm assuming with your audience it is. Like, it needs more inclusion, more diversity, more welcoming spaces, always. There's a certain group of people who've had a seat at the table for a long time, and we need to make room for different people and people to always feel welcome, always feel safe, always feel safe, always feel included, always feel like they can play and share their thoughts and make stuff. I think that's so important. Whatever people want to do, if they want to play, if they want to design, if they want to do both, like, there's a space for everyone and everyone is important. And but it's time to push people who haven't had the spotlight into the spotlight if they want it. Yes.
Well
Super
said. Here, here.
Yes, definitely well said.
Thank you.
Okay, do you design for yourself or do you design for your potential audience?
Well, I think I already let the cat out of that bag when I said, I do design things that I love first. I mean, I always hope that that my designs and the subject matter that I like, the other people will also love it too. But I figure if I'm going to spend so much time on something, I have to love it. And then once it's out there in the world, I hope it finds its audience. So yeah, I definitely follow my heart first.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. All right, Amy, what is the last game or thing that you backed on crowdfunding?
The last thing I backed, I think, was Bah Humbug by Emily Bullocks. Is that her last name? The last thing I received, I'm using, funny enough, to hold up my computer. I just received Camillea's game, which I can't hold with one hand. Let's see. There we go. One and done just arrived.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using it as a perfect stand for my computer at the moment.
Nice. What is that game about?
One and done is, I'm just going to read the side of the box. It's a fill-in-the-blank game of strategy, side eyes, and sabotage. It's for 4+ players, and there's only 3 of us in my family, so I haven't even busted off the plastic yet. But I'm excited. I know it's filled with cards, and it's got dry erase boards in there, and markers, and all kinds of goodies. So, gotta play it.
Very cool.
Plus, Camellia is just awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. How about you guys?
All right.
What's your last? Sorry,
the last thing I backed. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think what. It couldn't have been Board Game Day, but it might have been Board Game Day, which is a kid's book from Ambi Valdez. She is a mom of twins who loves board gaming. So I think that might have been the last thing I backed. What about you, Joe? I'm like looking through my Kickstarter preview.
I just pulled it up. Let's see. The last thing that I backed was a game called Arabella. It's an 18xx roll and write that I'm very excited about.
Ooh.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, I was on Kickstarter today, and I looked at how many projects I backed, because it comes up right underneath your name, and I was like, wow, it's a good number. Does anybody want to guess? How many projects have I backed?
13.
I'm going to go...
Is it 13?
40.
Higher.
No.
Oh my God.
How many?
Well, higher than 40? Good gravy.
100.
Yeah. 51. I was like, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for being impressed. I was kind of excited too. I was like, wow, it's a lot of projects.
That is a lot.
Definitely a handful.
Oh,
I mean, I just figure I can't ask people to back my Kickstarter if I'm not out here backing Kickstarter.
That's
Hello.
fair. That's fair.
I can't ask for things I'm not giving. Hello. Rude.
That's fair. Yeah, we had a lot of high numbers. Tech said 327. James said 152.
Nice.
I mean,
nice.
Those are fair questions, fair numbers. I agree.
Yeah.
But James has a question for you. Speaking of families and stuff, he asks, what are your go-to family games for 2 to 3 players?
Well, confession time. I play my games more than any other games.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. So other than that, I'm pretty basic. We're doing chess, checkers. It's almost like
the staples.
Yeah, kind of. More staples. I do love. I always forget the name of it. I'll try to think of the one that I like. It just fell out of my brain. I'm. How many? What's today? Today's the 16th.
Yes.
Yep.
I got COVID at Christmas, and I still feel like a little bit of a little foggy head. So
that's fair. Yeah.
And the fatigue too. Rude. It was my first time getting COVID, and So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try to remember what the game
Yeah,
is.
James says he does like some abstract strategy. So chess and checkers, those are some good ones.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the go-to classics. Like I haven't played chess in forever, but I still would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I don't know. I always will love Uno. Anything that reminds me of my childhood, I'm just all in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Yep. Okay. Is there a particular time of day that you feel is best to get your creative juices flowing?
Oh, that's a good question. I told you if I can't sleep at night, there the ideas come, and they're not always gems, but you never know. Sometimes I just wake up. It is often at night, and then in the morning I'll wake up and just do a brain dump of ideas that I've had at night. And like I said, they're not all great for sure, but it's good to get that. Do you know? Are you familiar with It's an older book by Julia Cameron, I think her name is, called The Artist's Way. And she's all about doing like a journal pages in the morning that are sort of a brain dump. And whereas I've never like really committed to doing that, but I see the value in it because sometimes when I have an idea and I just go dump it into a Google Doc or write it down even with a pen and paper, there's some power in that to get it out of my head and to see if it has any potential value or little nuggets, to glean from. So yeah, or I'll just be reading something and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm on a trajectory and I have to go jump up or just at least grab my phone and get in my notes and start, jamming some notes in. Even the simplest thing can get me excited. Like the game I'm working on right now that will be on Kickstarter very soon was inspired by someone's post on Facebook that had nothing to do with games. And it was just something
Is
this
it
person
the story
posted.
that you told me that's still under wraps, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. So that one's coming.
Cool. Very cool.
So you never
That's
know.
awesome.
You never know when inspiration's going to come. Even something, just totally that doesn't have to do with games on Facebook.
Yeah. Very true.
But I'll tell the whole story when
it comes. It's fine.
When it comes. All right. Fantastic.
I told you I'm an open book, and when once I have it out there.
Yes. That's totally fair. Totally fair. James asked, speaking of abstract strategy games, Amy, have you played Shobu or Boop?
No, Boop was at Gamma last year too in March, at Gamma Expo, and everyone was surrounding Boop. Yeah, I haven't played either of them, but they look great.
I have it over here. I just played
it.
Oh.
Are you going to go to Gamma Expo? Either of you? Both of you?
I am not sure because I also got an invite to go to a convention up in Vancouver, BC around that same time.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll actually be going to a wedding, so I probably wouldn't be either.
Yeah. Thank you for the Lurk Board Game Feast. And he said, Jess taught me Shobu at OrcaCon. That's right. Are you familiar with Shobu, Amy?
I don't think I am.
Okay. It's a 2-player abstract, very chess-like. Recommend checking it out. But it's simple in its mechanics, but difficult in its strategy in that it has that chess kind of push and pull.
Yes. Sorry, I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, I knew it, but I didn't know that was the name. Yes, it looks super cool.
Yeah, very awesome. And welcome in Reggie and everyone else that's been trickling in. We are speaking with the
welcome in
game designer Amy Baio, local gamer here in the Pacific Northwest and friend of mine from the before times. So yeah, it has been fantastic. We're just having a cozy chat. So if you have any questions for her, please feel free to pop them into the chat. All right, Phantom, what you got?
All right. Do you think crowdfunding has changed the design process for games for better or for worse?
Well, I only know designing games under the crowdfunding platform. I it's that's hard for me to speak to. I was just talking to James about this the other day about because obviously James Hudson and I make completely different kinds of games, and he does $1 billion Kickstarters, and I do less than that on Kickstarter, but I'm still able to like build a business, so it's so interesting. It's all very interesting, and I feel like it's a beast that um a beast, not in a bad way beast, but like it's just everyone has their own like mountain to climb when it comes to creation. And I hope the Kickstarter is always used to make the thing you dream about making. I worry sometimes that the bigger companies overshadow the smaller ones, but like you know who have budgets to do, this, that, and the other thing in this kind of video and these kind of reviews and which is great. Like that whole churning machine though is not something I'm familiar with. When I put a game on Kickstarter, like it's real simple. I'm probably making the video myself during the pandemic. Before a pandemic, I actually hired professionals, but I haven't since the pandemic. So my video is going to be really basic. I'm going to show you my game. I'm probably going to show you me and be like, hey, now this is what's up. It's very personal. It's very small. I'm an indie creator, so that's what you're going to get. And usually my Kickstarters have 4 tiers of rewards. That's it. I haven't done stretch goals ever. It's not that I wouldn't, I just haven't yet. And I've never done stretch goals. I've never done add-ons or anything. I either do 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, or 3 games and you get to make a card with me. So that those have been really successful and super fun. So I've got to work with a lot of people that way. So yeah, my crowdfunding experience is all Kickstarter too. I feel very loyal to Kickstarter. I love Kickstarter, and that's where I'll stay to fund my projects. And now, opposed to when I made You Think You Know Me and Flatter Me, even and Rabbit Rabbit. I think of it more as a pre-order than I do funding my project. Whereas what I said a few minutes ago, I still hope that there are indie creators that feel comfortable in the space and will ask for what they need. If you need 15,000 because you want to make your, whatever game, then I hope that they can build their audience and promote themselves all over the place and like get those numbers and get their good game made, yeah, so it's a beast, right? Like it's a beast and a machine, and it's different things to different people and different creators. It's so personal and it has to do with your audience. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. Sorry. Yeah, that's a lot of thoughts.
Beautiful.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if there's anything attached to that or anything I said that you want to ask further on, or anybody in chat has questions, like, yeah, obviously I could talk too much about it.
Well, we definitely do have a question from chat from Rolling Reggie. Did you ever pitch your own games before deciding to make yourself a publisher?
No. No, I've always wanted to make things myself and not have anyone tell me they wanted to change it. Yeah, so I've never pitched any of the games that I've made. I've pitched. What did I pitch? Oh, I pitched one thing to one company that I just didn't want to make myself, and they passed. But I still like the idea. I just didn't want to make it.
Fair enough. So you've done it once. There you go.
Yeah. And I did have without going into too much detail, because this is something I can't really talk about, but I did have one company that wanted to publish one of my games, and we went round and round with contracts and the whole thing, and we just didn't get there. Like I hired an attorney, I spent money and time on it, and we just couldn't get to a place where I was like, yes, I trust you, and let's run away together. I was just like, no, I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
And I mean, sometimes that happens too. Like it's unfortunate but it's also rare. And I want to like stress that too. Like it's not like a reoccurring thing where sometimes people just get not what they expected when it comes to game design or making a kind of like a cooperative, agreement and things of that nature. But I am glad it has become a learning experience because I know when you and I have talked, Amy, you're just like, yep, I've learned from it. I'm growing from
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's all I can take away from it. So as long as you can see it in a positive way, I think
yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah, I think some lessons even in the moment, you can't even figure out what you've learned from it until sometimes a lot of time has passed. And then all of a sudden, as you learn even more things, you're like, oh, wow, that thing this many years ago really did teach me a lot that I've actually used as a foundation. Or you even looking back, little epiphanies, right?
Right.
That I've learned a lot from, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Was there ever an idea, Amy, that you shelved at a period of time to come back later to for future success?
Um, no.
Okay.
So there's another way I'd work, and it's so funny because I always say never, but so far, every time I have an idea, I kind of really just sink my teeth into it, and that's what I stick with for that time. So um, it's never been something where I have to circle back. Like I'm always like in it and I see it through. I guess the closest thing would be Flatter Me because the seeds of that idea came while I was playtesting You Think You Know Me. And I was like, oh, I really want to make that, but I'm not going to do 2 games this year. Or even at that point, I didn't know if I was going to make 1 game, just because I liked it and my friends liked it, it didn't mean that it was going to happen, but luckily it did. So I guess the seeds of Flatter Me came during that time. And I knew that if You Think You Know Me did well, that would be the next thing that I worked on. So I
Okay.
did.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, and I just also want to assure you, Amy, too, there's no right or wrong answers to these questions. It's just however you want to interpret them. So don't
I'm a
feel like,
creative
oh
weirdo.
God, I didn't answer that right, or like I took too long. Like that's the whole point of this conversation. We're just having a conversation. So
Okay.
it's not like we're testing you on like, okay, how many times did Amy say this? So
How many minutes did she talk?
yeah, no, it's fair. It's
Yeah,
totally
we are
fair.
definitely not keeping score.
We are not,
No.
not at all. All right, Joe.
All right, so we got a follow up from Reggie. So, what have been some of your hurdles from self publishing?
Hurdles of self-publishing, shipping costs. Um, I just worked with a new shipper that made me very sad because I told them I was tiny and indie and I could only have this, budget with shipping, and then they didn't warn me that the price went up after the quote, and so I had to pay like extra, and it was right, at the new year, and I was like, oh, so yeah, stuff like that. Those are the biggies. Anything that costs me more money that I don't budget for, which, yeah, you can say, well, I've padded my budget, but there's some things
Mm.
that have to kind of hold fast, and one of those is my landed cost, because that will just be helpful. So self-publishing, making sure that my landed cost always stays solid. And I did have my second Kickstarter failed. So I had done sort of an expansion pack of You Think You Know Me called the Peach Pack. And it was a NSFW thing that I wasn't really being true to myself. Yeah, so I learned from that too. Like I do kind of like live in a kind of wholesome lane of making games, and so I learned a lot from and people told me, they're like, we don't really want this 18 plus game from you, and I was like, I hear you. So at the time it was very, very much a bummer, and I again, it took me time to let that go and learn from it, and because I was like, but, because it was really fun. I mean, I played with my friends and it was a blast. And I still get people every once in a while asking me about the Peach Pack and the NSFW, Peach Pack, but I will not make it. I will not make it. I would let somebody else publish that if they really wanted to, but I just don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to
Fair.
All right, that's a fantastic answer. So we got a comment from James Brazil. He says, "I am keeping score, and I think Amy is awesome."
That's
James.
kind.
And welcome in, Panda.
Hello,
Enjoy
Amanda
your
Panda.
Year.
Hi.
All right, Amy.
Yeah.
Do you think the terms board game and tabletop are separate, or are they becoming interchangeable?
Oh, that's so funny. I used to care about this, and now I just don't care. I think it should be. Like, why are we getting so wrapped up? I mean, I think that's fine for those to be interchangeable. But if someone feels strongly about it, then I respect that. It's fine.
I love that.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So if it matters to you, I will hear you out.
I love that. Man.
Oh, too fun. Okay, do you have a routine when you're working on or designing a game?
A routine, like a daily routine?
Yeah, like routine, like things you do all the time, like ritual, for lack of a better term, like things you just do.
Yeah, I don't know. I always write, and I always read, and I always draw. So even if my drawings don't end up in my games, I'm always drawing, and it's almost like a multidisciplinary dive into my subject and my brain. So I want to wrap my whole head around what I'm making and my whole heart around it. So I explore it from all these different angles. So a routine, no. I think my routines consist of just making sure I listen to music, making sure I work out, making sure, like I said, I read, and rest. That's really important because I didn't rest enough last year. So I've been promising myself for 2023 more rest and more fun, both. I need to have more fun because I did work too much. So, those are things that need to be scheduled sometimes. Rest and fun.
Yeah.
All right.
100%. 100%. James asked, do you share any of your art that you do, Amy?
From time to time, like in a little quick Instagram story or something, sure. But not any place that lives anywhere for a long time.
If you need ideas, though, James, I would definitely recommend Amy's Instagram because she has fantastic clothing design.
Thanks.
So you could cheat like all of her wonderful, colorful outfits and designs and things that she gets. Like even you have a "You Think You Know Me" dress,
I do,
which I think is just fantastic. So
I collect clothes. This is pretty funny. During PAX Unplugged, I met Benita at a party the first night of PAX Unplugged, and and she complimented my dress, and I was like, "Oh, I collect clothes," and she was like, "Oh, I collect games," and it was just funny. It was like a very memorable little moment because I collect clothes.
Yeah. Panda, you could see her handle right there is at Heart-Shaped Sky.
Yeah, all my game stuff is Pink Tiger Games, and then all of my personal stuff with a little bit of game stuff intertwined is Heart-Shaped Sky. And I've been using Heart-Shaped Sky for oh my gosh, 16 years or so. So, yeah.
Is there a story behind that?
It was kind of my version of rose-colored glasses, So instead of calling myself rose-colored glasses, I called myself Heart-Shaped Sky. Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Are you familiar? Everyone, I think, is that common in the vernacular now? Still, is rose-colored glasses like seeing things in an optimistic, hopeful way?
Yes.
A lot of people who still definitely say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay, Amy. And on your gaming shelves, do you stack them horizontally, vertically, or if it fits, it sits?
If it fits, it fits. It's a mess.
Yes. Yes, another one for the Bits and Sits Club.
Just put it on the
fine.
shelf.
It's fine. They're all in there.
Yes, controlled chaos. I love it.
Yeah. If I take one down and something falls, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it. I love some of these quick answers too, Amy. It's just making me smile. Like, I just didn't really think about that, or whatever. Or like, this is me now. I just love it.
I mean, it's funny. For the past couple of years, I've had this mantra that I don't think I've talked about. I don't know if I've ever said it publicly. Is who cares? Because ultimately, it is like who cares? Like most people don't care, but I really care. But also, who cares? But I also want to find the people who care. So that's always my thing. I'm always like, who cares? But it's super loaded. But it's super like, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. Who cares? So sometimes when like when my husband and I are like, it's a heavy conversation. It's hard, but ultimately, it's like, who cares? Who cares?
That should
You
be
find
the
the
title
people
for your
that
next
care.
game, Amy.
I know, right? Oh, believe
Right?
me. I've been like, how can I make a game about who cares? Believe me, that's on the list. It's on the list
It
of
could
like,
be. It could be like some kind of like crisis like game. You're in the checkout line of the grocery store and you really have to pee. Who cares?
I don't know. That I am sure about. That matters to me. That's too far.
Does
Yes,
it
it's
not,
too far.
or does it not
You're
matter to
asking
you?
too much of my bladder. That I care about.
Oh, that's
Scale,
good.
right? Like, how much do you care?
No, it would be like the most existential game. It would just be like everything. It'd be like, I don't know, that I stepped in dog poop. Who cares?
Right. Yeah. You're driving down the highway and your gas light turns on. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I am there.
Jess, you're not very good at this game.
The store is out of my favorite toothpaste. Who cares? Who cares? What am I attached?
Like every time we have guests on here, Amy, we're always like opening the mindscape for either like design or ideas or just like thoughts. Which I think is kind of like the goal, I think, Joe, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, unintentionally, but I would say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is a game, especially when you're me and you make conversation games. Yeah, I mean, I watch people talk to each other. I would try to watch how people communicate with each other, and I try to listen really well because it's all a part of it, because who cares? We all care. We care. Yeah.
All right, Joe, what you got?
Oh, funny. Okay, Amy, what game or games would you recommend to designers just starting out to play?
Oh, whatever you like. Who cares? Go get go to your game store and just.
I had that one coming.
Go to your game store. I don't know. Pick a money, the dollar amount you want to spend under $25, and spend $25 on anything that catches your eye. Go play. Let's do that. I mean, that to me is the most fun, when I just go to the game store and I just look around and play. Just play, looking at boxes, looking at anything that catches my eye. That's so much fun.
It is. I'm the same way. I'll walk into a store, like I won't have an agenda, but I'm like, oh, shiny. Let me look at this.
Yeah.
All right. So follow-up question to that, Amy. What game?
Who cares?
Yes. What game would you recommend to somebody who's never played a hobby game?
Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask. Oh.
Also
Never
translated as, who cares?
Yeah. So I have this game called Who Cares? And I've never played a hobby game. Oh, I don't know. I'm the worst. I don't know.
You know, I would say, okay, so here, I would answer that. I
Yes,
would
you
say,
answer.
go to Target
Mm.
and look at game box size, and whatever box size you feel comfortable with taking home with you, that's the game you should buy.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Because I too actually have an answer for that question.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
go.
So it's out of print, and I'm hoping it comes back soon. But if you can get your hands on or play Lords of Vegas, that's what I recommend to people.
Oh, really?
Because I like to sell Lords of Vegas to folks as, if you like Monopoly, it's much better, has a point, and it ends.
Oh.
Okay, wait. Is the Lords of Vegas one, Joe, where you have dice values on each of your casinos?
Yes, that's the game.
Oh my gosh, that just never hit for me.
Really?
Yeah, it never did. Granted,
Okay.
I learned it at like midnight at a convention.
You know, maybe that's why. And funny you should say that. So the first handful of times that Abby and I walked through a game store, we saw Lords of Vegas. We picked it up, we put it down. We picked it up, we put it down. And this is like 4 or 5 trips later. We pick it up and put it down. It wasn't until we saw the episode of Will Wheaton's Tabletop where they were playing Lords of Vegas, actually seeing it played is what sold it.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I can definitely understand it not hitting right away, because it didn't for us either, but it wound up becoming one of our favorite games very early on, and I recommend it to people to at least give it a try.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Is
Yeah.
it fair?
Like Vegas, the dice game, but that's different, right?
No, Las Vegas' dice game is completely different. That you're rolling dice and trying to, like, I've only played it once, but you roll dice and you're betting on certain things to get money. But no, Lords of Vegas is, so I'll explain it real quick. So there's a board, and there's, let's see, A, B, C. There's 6 different lots, and you have a deck of cards which also match the color of the 5 casinos that you're playing in the game.
Right.
You draw 2, you get a certain amount of money, and you also get 2 starting lots with dice values. Then on your turn, you can choose to build a casino of a certain color on a lot that you own. Then, as the cards get drawn, if that color casino comes up, you score victory points.
Right.
But you can only score points as long as you expand. Like, if you just have a 1 block of a casino, you'll go all the way up to 8 points. After 8 points, that casino needs to be at least 2 blocks wide, or you won't score. So there's a little bit of strategy, a little bit of push your luck. It's got a little bit of everything, and that's why I recommend it.
Okay.
Cool.
I like that. I like that. Let's see. So Reggie says you got to play with the right group, and in his opinion, the deluxe components. Lords of Vegas is a hidden gem.
Yes, I way better said than me. Yes, Lords of Vegas is 100% a hidden gem.
Yeah, he says lots of luck, but that's Vegas, baby.
Yep, and Lords of Vegas is what Monopoly wishes it could be, and that's why I say it's, if you like Monopoly, you'll love Lords of Vegas.
All right, Amy, I've got a question for you. What is your grail game, or like a game that you would always go to no matter what?
Always go to no matter what. Oh my gosh. No one's gonna like my answers.
It's not a matter of liking or not. Who cares?
I mean, who cares? I like Trivial Pursuit. I do. Yeah.
That's
So do
fun.
I love
That is a good
Trivial
game.
Pursuit.
Why am
Nobody
I so
plays that
afraid?
anymore.
Why am I so afraid of being judged, you guys? Terrible.
No one is going to judge you here at all. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I absolutely love Trivial Pursuit. Like trivia games in general, is my forte. Like most people on Twitch know this about me. I am like a game show fanatic. I watched them when I was a kid. I still watch them now. And just trivia for me is just totally my cup of tea.
You just sparked a memory in my little brain about.
Do tell.
I loved game shows as well growing up. Loved them. Loved TV game shows so much that I would. Here's the origins of my game designer story without even realizing it. I used to try to make my own with paper and and pens and crayons and pencils, and I did all kinds of stuff like that when I was a kid. When I was really probably when I was 7, 8 years old, something like that. So there you go. Same.
Oh, fun. All right. So one more thing is, so if you like Trivial Pursuit, there's a game you need to check out. It's called Outsmarted. It's like Trivial Pursuit modernized. So it's app driven, but the company updates the questions. So they're recent. Like there's a news category. It'll be like questions that happened in like the last couple of weeks. So it's a fantastic product. Google it and check it out if Trivial Pursuit's up your alley.
Awesome. All right. And Joe, have you played Rabbit Rabbit, my superstitions trivia game?
I have seen it around. I have not played it though.
There it is.
There it is. So that I need that one, Amy, because I know you requested people doing streaming stuff. So that's one that I did back on Kickstarter, but I gave it to my sister because she's all about like lore and learning about superstitions and stuff. So Rabbit Rabbit, I would need a copy of, as well as Lost for Words, because that's your new one, because I want to highlight the new ones.
Thank you. Yeah.
But explain what Rabbit Rabbit is for folks that aren't aware.
Oh, yeah. Rabbit Rabbit is 350 unique trivia cards all about myth, folklore, and magic.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so each card on the front has a piece of trivia with 4 possible answers. And then on the back, you have your answer with a little bit more context and history about the piece of folklore. So, I spent over a year researching all these things, all these myths and bits of superstitions, and put this many in a box. I wrote oh my gosh, over 1,000 cards easily. So, and how you play is everyone, if you're playing with teams or just one-on-one, whatever the case is, you have to get 7 right total. But when you are at 6, when you get your 6th card right, you have to say rabbit, rabbit. Otherwise, you'll lose a turn, and then your opponents have a chance to catch up. So that's Rabbit Rabbit.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It's very cool because like some stuff that you're like, I know. Like I've heard this thing, like my grandma told me, or whatever. And then you like read about it and you're like, yeah, oh my gosh. Or like, that's random. Or like, where did that come from? But like you did your like research, Amy. I remember you were like, I was reading all the things and looking at all the stuff. So
yeah, interviewed people. I did it. I dove into every place I could. I read university, deep dives into folklore. Everything I could. I tried to contact local people in different areas of the world, and really. But because that's the thing, right? With superstitions, anything to do with luck, like it can change from household to household. Like it's serious, right? Because you're talking about myths and things that people hold very dear. Right. So it was very important to me to be super respectful and just do the best, hopefully, that I could. I'm sure I got things wrong according to someone, for sure. Because it's like I said, it's important. So
yeah,
it's Rabbit Rabbit.
I like it.
And I was inspired to make that one because it was around New Year's, the year that I came up with it, and I came across an article about New Year's superstitions, and I started just reading the article aloud to people I was with, and then I stopped and I was like, oh, does anybody want to hear this? And everyone was like, yes. And I was like, oh, everyone wants to hear this. Got it. I was like, I'm not alone in like wanting to know these cool superstitions. So
that's cool.
That's what started it rolling.
I love it. All right, Amy, I'm going to ask Joe to grab our special guest.
Sure, I will be back and go get him.
While we do that, I will ask you, Amy, what are your top 5 games that you would take on a weekend getaway?
Mine, and mine.
That's only 4 though.
But the fifth one is right here. You just can't see it.
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, the games I would take are Rabbit, Flatter Me, Lost for Words, a game of untranslatable feelings, and You Think You Know Me, and Mystery Game over here that'll be on Kickstarter soon.
Nice. Nice. That was easy.
I'm just self-promotioning the heck out of myself, but it is true. Like I do make games so I can play them.
That's totally fair. That is
Yeah.
totally fair. So then, if you were hosting a game night, Amy, what would your ideal player count be?
Oh, I like pretty intimate stuff, I think. So definitely be under 7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why those like smaller games? So would you necessarily go for a party game, or what?
I would probably right now I would do Lost for Words just because it just came out in November and there's so much to get into with that game, and and it changes every time you play it with whoever you're playing it with, obviously, because it's so dynamic. The cards are so interesting, if I do say so myself. So it really does change every time, and I'm always like learning something new about somebody else or even myself. Like it's just insightful.
Nice.
Love it. Yeah.
I like that. I like that answer. So now, friends and Amy, it's time to go into the part of the stream where we like to call the special guest segment of Community Connections. I would like to introduce you all to Sir Phantom Lipton. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Jess. Good evening, Amy.
Good evening.
All right, so we've come to the part of the interview, much like Sir James Lipton before me. We are going to do the Sir Phantom Lipton questionnaire. So, are you familiar with the format?
Yay!
You are number 2. You are the second person to actually know what this is. It pleases me to no extent. Really great. All right, so without further ado, here we go.
Okay.
What is your favorite board game?
My favorite board game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna say Candyland. I always take it back to kid stuff. It resonates with my soul. I just love it.
Hey, that's fair.
I know some people be like, it's not a game. Yes, it is when you're 4. Leave me alone.
That's a wonderful answer. I played quite a bit of Candyland myself when I was a child and thoroughly enjoyed it, even though once you shuffle the deck, it's rigged.
I know.
But you didn't know that when you were 4.
No, it was just magical and candy.
Exactly. Okay. What is your least favorite board game?
Anything that makes me feel like I'm going to fail because I can't understand it.
Okay. What board game makes you feel the most happy?
My new one. Oh, it's right here and I can't show it to you. It's going to be on Kickstarter soon. I don't even want to say the name because I haven't said the name publicly, but I'm just going to whisper it. How many people are in this chat right now?
There are 11 folks in the chat.
It's called Cloud9.
Okay.
It's a game of wonderful things, and it's my new favorite. There, you're getting the first. That's the first time I've said it publicly.
Well, only the 14 of us know that exists now. All right. What board game makes you feel the most sad?
Oh, the most sad game. What that makes me feel the most sad? I don't know. Do I play any games that make me feel sad? I don't care if I lose games. I don't know. I almost tried to make a game that kind of made people sad, but it made me too sad to make it, so I didn't make it. Oh, I don't know. That's a hard one.
That's fine. You could pass if you want to, if you can't think of one.
Well, I hate to pass, but yeah, I think I have to.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What board game components do you love?
Cards.
What board game components do you dislike?
Oh, I also like spinners. What do I not? Sorry, the question was, what do I not like?
What board game components do you dislike?
Dislike. I don't know. There's not. I guess anything I would have to sleeve. I don't want to. I don't want to monkey with all that. I love cards, but I also don't want to be that precious about anything.
Okay. What board game is so bad that its name should become a curse word?
No, I will not. No. I mean, yeah, I guess one did just come to mind.
Okay. Are you gonna say it, or are you gonna pass?
Ugh. Cards Against Humanity just needs to go. Bye.
That's a fair answer.
That's a fair answer.
It's not nice. It's mean. It's so mean. Oh.
No, that's a fair answer.
No.
Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
If I wasn't a game designer, I would probably want to be a full-time painter.
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
Anything to do with cleaning.
Okay. And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
This is the best question, and I swear I've had an answer over the years watching the show that you're referencing. But the first thing that comes to mind right now is the answer is love, and it's always been love, and it is love for everyone. Something like that. Yeah.
All right. And there you have it. The Sir Phantom Lipton questionnaire.
That was amazing.
Yay!
I don't know. Did I?
You did fine.
It's questionable.
Okay,
You
so
did fine.
fun
Again, there's
fact
no
about
right or
this
wrong
is-
answers.
Amy, it always makes people nervous when Joe does this, right? Because he's like getting the suit,
Yeah.
and it's all like serious,
Yeah.
straight face. However,
Serious.
we have asked the wonderful and the talented Omari Akil to make a actual like intro song for it. So
Yes.
friends, it is coming. It is
Oh my God.
coming. He is
Yep,
making it.
he's
as
working
we
on
speak.
it, and I cannot wait to see what he comes up with, because he is an amazing human being.
Yes, he is. That was somebody when I saw him at PAX. Are there pronouns him or
Yes.
they them? Okay.
Yeah,
When I saw
He, they.
when I
He,
okay, okay, that's why it's in my head. Okay, when I saw him at PAX Unplugged, I saw him the first night as well at a party, and I about lost my mind. I was so excited. I was like, finally meeting in person. Ah! Yeah, great.
Yeah,
That's
thank you,
super.
James. Yeah. Omari uses he, they. Yep. So yeah, when he was on, and we had him do some freestyling, it was for me, I was beatboxing along with it, which is disastrous. I felt like I just kind of ruined his moment.
you definitely put yourself on the spot, Jess. It was great.
I did. But when he told him that, he was like, "Oh, I could totally work on it." And I talked to him recently, Joe, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not just gonna throw some beats on. Like he's making this a thing."
I know, that's what makes me so excited. Like, this is like a legit production. It's gonna be
It's
amazing.
a legit production, friends. So keep it going. And
That's so
mine is-
cool.
it's so cool, right?
Yeah.
I just can't get over it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I also cannot get over the fact that we have done this show for 20 episodes.
Woo!
I know. We thought this was gonna be like a couple of week thing, and it's already gone on like months. It's out of this world.
Amazing.
It is fantastic. One last thing I will ask before we do our closing remarks. James asked, Amy, is there a pre-launch sign up for your soon-to-be coming game?
Yeah, I was hoping to put it up tomorrow.
Okay, so should they go to
Thank you for
pinktiger.com?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'll probably put it on Facebook first. And yeah, I mean, it'll probably go on Facebook before it goes anywhere else tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. But the Facebook link is in pinktigergames.com, correct?
Or on my personal, both. And my personal is all public on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, James is getting ready. James is getting ready.
Me too.
All right, Joe, do you have any last questions for Amy before we close out tonight?
Let's see. We go through our list here. See if you know what? This will actually be a good question or for at least me to end on. So we're talking about when you go to a game store, you kind of just whatever catches your eye. But with that, have you ever found an amazing what was your most amazing bargain find at a game store for a board game?
Oh, I don't know if I go to the bargain games. Isn't that terrible?
Oh, I'm not saying it has to be on clearance or anything. But what's something you saw that was the price was right, the game was right. What was the most amazing thing? You're a bargain to you.
I have one on my shelf that I haven't opened yet that I got not too long ago, and I think it's adorable. Here, hold on. It's right here. Hold on. Oh.
Okay.
Hold on. It's right here. I hope. Oh, no. I told you it's disorganized. I told you. I found it. And I grabbed one other thing. Okay. So this little guy, I guess I opened it, but I haven't played it yet. Isn't that cute?
Oh.
It's a Japanese game. I don't even know. It's so cute though. And it's just so well designed. I love it. But this is a Kickstarter project that I helped with. This is Unspoken Words. It's a get to know your immigrant family better through meaningful conversations. So there you go. And it's a really cute little box with a stand kind of thing.
Okay.
Cool.
That's cool.
So I'll show you a couple. I just, okay, I'll stop.
No, do
great.
it.
I'll just go over there and get more stuff if you're not careful.
Oh, we have to make sure your shelves can stay up.
Yeah, true. We don't need it. We don't need anything falling.
There's stuff on the ground now for sure.
Yeah, Unspoken Words, lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
So there we go, friends. You have just witnessed a lovely conversation with us and Amy Baio. And Amy, what do you have coming up besides this game? Do you have any local events that maybe folks can check out in the meantime before you launch your Kickstarter?
Yeah, I'm working with a local game store right now. They reached out to me and they wanted to do something on February 12th, but that's my birthday. So I'm not, I was like, I can do something the weekend before or after. So I think I might have a local event being planned for the 19th of February. So stay tuned if you're in Portland. And if you're in the Portland area, I will announce it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this has been fantastic, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us for the cozy conversation.
Thank you for having me, because I care. I really care.
It's just your next
Who cares?
Other game.
We do.
Thanks for asking.
I love it. All right, Joe, what do you have going on this week, my friend?
Yeah, so super busy week for me. I've just completely packed the schedule. So tomorrow, Abby and I will be learning and checking out Joan of Arc, the Orleans Draw and Write. She's been excited about that one, and so have I. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Then on Thursday is going to be my busiest day for the Panda and Phantom show at 1 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. Amanda and I will be joined by Danny from Sovereignty, and we'll be highlighting their space-themed month during the show on Thursday. Then later that evening at 7 p.m. Pacific, I'll be making my official debut on the Geek Girl Con channel, playing some indie games along with some of the team. So excited about that. And then on Friday, we're going to get another one of Abby's Gen Con wants off of the Shelf of Opportunity. We're going to be playing Catherine Cities of the Tsarina at 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Friday. And then finally on Saturday, time to be determined. Jess, I'll let you take that one.
Yes. So I will work backwards. So I'll start with Saturday and then I'll kind of work my way backwards. So Saturday, friends, I am celebrating 600 followers on Twitch. Da, 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 da. And what better way to do that than to do something to my hair? Yes, that's right, friends. The wonderful, the amazing House of Meeple is coming to the CCG headquarters to dye my hair.
Yep.
And we have decided we are going to dye my hair the same color as my avatar on social media. So it's going to be a nice, like, fuchsia, kind of pinky purpley. I don't know. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So, yeah. So that's going to happen. And we're going to live stream it, friends. Because what better way to pass the time while you're in a hair salon than to live stream something? And hair salon, I mean, like, my studio here. So, it might look a little different. We might have to, like, shift things around because this feels big here on screen, but it actually is not big in real life. So, yeah.
Actually,
so
Jess, you're touching the wall right now.
I know, right? So, yes. So that's going to happen Saturday, sometime to be determined, but I will make sure to post it at least by Friday so we have kind of an idea. We'll be playing some games and stuff while the process is taking place, the transformation, if you will. And then Friday, I'm going to get back into some digital gaming. I'm going to browse through my Steam collection because there's a few games that I've purchased on Steam that I'm like, I forgot that I had this in my gaming library. So I'm going to be doing that on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be playing some Cartographer's Heroes, but I'm playing one of the Undercity maps. Expansion for Cartographer's Heroes. So if you want to play along with me, as well as we'll continue on with our tournament game of Quarantine Haircuts, where you can win a chance to win a bag of swag from me and the CCG crew. So that's going to be Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. I know that was a lot of stuff happening, friends. Follow us on socials. You've got our handles right there below our faces. But once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that hung out. All the new people that came in and were chatting with us. It has been quite a pleasure. And now I'm going to send you all over to a raid with our friend Rolling with Rock. He is currently doing some Marvel Snap right now, and that's kind of a big deal. So, yeah. Any last words, Joe or Amy, that you would like to say before we say goodbye?
Thank you.
Who cares?
Okay. Oh my gosh! If someone steals my idea, I'm just kidding. Okay. Thank you so much. You both are a delight.
Yeah, you've been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, Amy.
Yeah. Thanks, friends. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Joe. And until next time, friends, stay safe, enjoy your board games, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.